The live audience in Los Angeles buzzed with excitement, the bright lights of the set amplifying the charged atmosphere of a popular primetime talk show. The host, Alex Brooks, a liberal figure known for his incisive and often confrontational style, settled into his chair, a confident grin lighting up his face. Viewers at home expected the usual mix of humor and sharp political discourse, unaware that tonight's episode would take an unexpected turn. And now, Alex began, a mischievous lilt in his voice, we have a very special guest, someone you'd never guess would set foot on this stage. A ripple of curiosity swept through the audience. Then, as if orchestrated for maximum impact, Melania Trump appeared from backstage, dressed in a sleek ivory suit that exuded elegance and confidence. The room collectively gasped, some clapping hesitantly, while others exchanged bewildered glances. Alex momentarily faltered, but quickly recovered, masking his surprise with a polished smirk. Melania approached the host's chair with composed poise. "Thank you for having me," she said, her accent soft but deliberate. The crowd's mixed reaction set the tone for what would become an unforgettable night. A tense opening. The interview began predictably enough, with Alex maintaining his trademark charm. Leaning back in his chair, he offered Melania a polite smile. "So, Melania, it's been quite a journey for you since your time in the White House. What's life like now?" Melania met his gaze without hesitation. "Life is peaceful," she replied steadily. "I focus on my family, my projects, and helping children through my initiatives." Alex nodded, his eyes betraying a hint of mischief. "Interesting," he said, "but many have criticized you for staying silent on controversial issues during your tenure as First Lady. How do you respond to that?" The room seemed to hold its breath. Melania remained composed, her hands resting gently on her lap. "I believe actions speak louder than words," she said. "It's easy to talk, but harder to make a real difference. I focus on what I can do, not on what others expect me to say." The atmosphere shifted subtly. Alex leaned forward, his expression sharpening. He clearly intended to push harder. The conversation turns personal. The tension escalated as Alex's questions became more pointed. "Actions speak louder than word," he echoed. "But don't you think some moments demand words, especially when the stakes are so high?" Melania tilted her head slightly, her expression unreadable. "People have their roles," she said. "My role was to support my husband and our country in my own way." Alex raised an eyebrow. "And supporting him meant staying silent even when his actions or words created division?" A murmur rippled through the audience. The question was bold, almost incendiary. Melania's calm demeanor didn't waver. "Division has always existed," she said. "Blaming one person for it is easy, but it doesn't solve the problem. I choose to focus on unity, not blame." The audience murmured, intrigued. Alex seemed momentarily taken aback, but quickly regrouped. "Fair point," he conceded. "But speaking of unity, let's address the rumors. Your marriage, for instance." A collective gasp echoed through the room. The question veered deeply into personal territory, yet Melania's expression remained impassive. "I am here to speak for myself," she said firmly. "Not for rumors or stories created by those who do not know me." A remarkable exchange. Alex leaned forward, his tone growing sharper. "How do you reconcile your platform of unity and kindness with some of the more controversial statements your husband made?" The room fell silent. Melania didn't flinch. "People see what they want to see," she began. "My work has always focused on helping children, promoting kindness, and showing respect. I cannot control what others say or do, but I can control how I act, and I choose kindness." Alex raised an eyebrow, unimpressed by what he deemed a vague response. "Surely," he pressed, "there were moments when you could have spoken out?" Melania's eyes narrowed slightly. "Taking a stand is not always about shouting the loudest," she said. "Sometimes it is about staying true to your values, even when it is not popular." The audience erupted in applause. Alex, momentarily stunned, hesitated before regaining his composure. "Fair enough," he said, though his confidence had visibly faltered. "The final question." But Alex wasn't done. He leaned forward, his voice dropping. "Do you ever regret marrying Donald Trump?" The audience gasped, the question cutting deeply personal. For a moment, Melania said nothing. The silence was deafening, stretching long enough to make everyone uncomfortable. Finally, she spoke. Regret is for those who do not take responsibility for their choices, she said, her voice calm but piercing. I know who I married. I know the life I chose, and I stand by it. Not because it is easy, but because it is mine. The room erupted into thunderous applause, some rising to their feet. Alex, visibly humbled, opened his mouth to speak, but was cut off by Melania's final words. We live in a world where it is easy to judge from the sidelines, she said, but you cannot understand someone's life unless you have lived it. And I do not owe anyone an explanation for my choices. The applause grew louder, cementing her commanding presence. Alex leaned back, offering a small, almost apologetic smile. I didn't expect that, he admitted softly. The aftermath. As the cameras cut, the studio buzzed with energy. Backstage, whispers of admiration and disbelief followed Melania as she exited. Outside, reporters clamored for statements, but she offered only one sentence. I said what needed to be said. By morning, clips of the interview had gone viral, sparking debates across the nation. Some praised her composure and dignity, others criticized her responses as evasive. Regardless, Melania had captivated the public's attention, leaving an indelible mark on a conversation that transcended politics. Her silence in the aftermath spoke volumes. Sometimes restraint makes the loudest impact, and Melania's performance that night became a testament to the power of measured words and unwavering self-awareness.